Hello, welcome back to Ginny's. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a gluten-free and dairy-free chocolate cake. So when I say dairy-free, there are eggs in there because they don't constitute as the dairy for the intolerances of dairy. I'm gluten-free and dairy-free myself, and I can eat this and I love it. So we're going to get started. It is super simple. It's just a tiny few adaptations that I have made to my regular chocolate cake. So if you've had my regular chocolate cake, hopefully you'll enjoy this one too. So I'm going to start by combining all the dry. So I use the Dove's plain gluten-free flour. So I've got that in. Hit the little V here, all of the ingredients will come out and you can screenshot them from there. So I'm going to use that one. I've also got in there some baking powder and some bicarbonate of soda, white sugar and brown sugar, cocoa powder, making sure that that is dairy free. Now I use the Callebaut cocoa powder, so rich, absolutely gorgeous, really recommend this. You can buy this online, absolutely love it. So I'm going to pop that one in there, and then you can give that a whiz around if you're brave, but I'm just going to give it a little go around myself because I don't want it to cover me, and it could. So as soon as you're happy enough that that is combined, we just pop the wet in and mix it up. So in here I have got oil, water, eggs, vanilla and buttermilk, which I have made with soya milk and lemon. And some coffee. And that has all gone in. So all we need to do now is give that a little whip. Low speed. Let that all whip up. And then we're going to do our usual. That needs to just sit and rest for that half an hour that we always do. I have lined 3 of my 6-inch tins, which is what I'm going to be using. My oven is preheated to 160 on a fan-assisted oven. So there we go, it's done. I'm going to give that little scrape down and we're just going to leave that half an hour minimum just to all combine in and let those flours that really love to drink in all that fluid do exactly what it wants. So I'll see you soon. Okay, so that's settled. Let's just give it a little bit of a go round, just incorporate those last little bits there. And, right, we're going to put this into the tins. Always let this rest in the bowl, not in the tins, because it will get a really invisible kind of film across the top, and then when you try and bake, it won't bake properly and it will come up in different places. So make sure you do it in here and give it that little bit of a go round. And it's a really lovely batter. Now it is wetter than my usual chocolate cake, and that is because it's gluten-free and you need that little bit more liquidy content. These are going to go into the preheated oven at 160 degrees on a fan assisted, and they're going to go in for around about 25 minutes, 22 to 25 minutes. I'll let you know exactly how long mine took after. Gluten-free does take that little bit longer, so I'll see you in a moment. Right, so these came out and they took 30 minutes, so it just takes that little bit longer with the gluten-free. So I've turned them upside down, so that's what they look like. When you take them out, any cake, if you just turn it upside down, it will naturally, if you've got a dome, now you can use the baking belts for that, but I just tend to cut off and keep the inside bits for cake pops. Right, so in here I have got 250 grams of unsalted vegan block butter. Now I use the Flora block butter. I really like that, the unsalted one, but if you can't get hold of that, just make sure you use something that is vegan and that it is a block, because if you use like margarine, it's never going to have the stability that you need. So I've got that in there. I am going to just treat this like a regular buttercream. We are going to put this on for around about 5 minutes, medium to high speed, whip it until it goes really light and fluffy, scraping down every couple of minutes, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so that's been going there for about 4 or 5 minutes. Now I like to add into my chocolate buttercream some ganache, so I'm going to make this now with you. Now I am using the Callebaut 811, and that is the dark Callebaut chocolate. Now this doesn't contain milk, it does say made in a factory that does, so it may, but the actual raw ingredients of that does not contain milk. So I'm okay with this, but just as an absolute disclosure to you, it does say made in a factory. So you can leave this part out if you like. So I've got my chocolate there. I'm just going to put it into the microwave. I'm going to put that in for 30 seconds, give it a stir around, take it back out, and then give it another 20 seconds, and then I'm going to be adding soya milk with this. Now obviously making ganache is quite difficult when you're dairy free, as I've found, because the creams are quite difficult to get. So I've been using soya milk and it seems to work a treat. So that's what we're going to do, so bear with me. Okay, so that's just starting to go on the bottom. Now obviously because this is dark chocolate, it holds the heat a lot better, it takes a lot longer to melt. So I am now going to add the soya milk into this and then carry on heating. I'm going to add half first and pop it back in. Another 20 seconds. And then we'll give that another stir again. I like to do this because I like to mix it in with my butter, because then I know it's completely incorporated. Okay, that's the 20 seconds. And then it's just coming together, just like it would do with as a regular ganache. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of the milk. There we go. It's not quite dripping at this moment, so I'm going to add the last part there. And then I'm just going to pop this back into the microwave for 5 seconds just to make sure it's all heated through, because we want it to stay warm when it hits the butter, otherwise it's going to start going hard. Here we go. And that's exactly what I want there. It smells absolutely gorgeous. So that's all in, it's all shiny. So I'm now going to scrape the sides of this down, and we have to move quite quickly because if this starts to, if it hits the cold and seizes, you're going to get, it'll start to go hard, and then you'll get hard bits in. So I'm actually just going to push my butter to one side. The sides will get this. I'm going to push my butter and then pop this into the bottom. And we're going to put it on high straight away. And that will all incorporate. Okay, let's go. And then straight away, that's going to make sure that there's no hard bits in there. And it's all going to come smooth and really lovely together. So now to this, I'm going to add my vanilla. This looks so good in there now. So we're just going to give that a final scrape down. Okay, so I've got myself a fresh spatula. You want to make sure that it is fresh because there could have been any hard bits of the chocolate on there. Right, and then we're going to do this in 3 bits, just like I normally do. And my cocoa powder's in there as well. Again, look down at that V and the whole recipe is in there. And as soon as that's incorporated, we'll add another lot. This looks so good. And the next lot. And then whilst that's going around, before I add the last bit, I'm just going to boil the kettle. Just in case it's a little bit thick, we have got a lot of cocoa powder in there and icing sugar as well. So it may just need a little bit of boiling water just to loosen it out a little bit. Okay, this looks so nice. At this last part, oh, knocking my boiling water. Now it is a little bit thick in there. As you can see, when I lift it, it's quite thick. Looks lovely though, and smells gorgeous. So I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon. You can start with a teaspoon. In fact, let's start with a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of boiling water into there. Now, the reason I get asked a lot why I'm adding boiling water. The reason I like boiling water is One, if you're adding just a teaspoon or a tablespoon of milk, it's not going to change the flavour at all, you're barely going to taste it. And two, the heat relaxes those air bubbles down as well, so it makes it all just so much smoother in there, so that's one. Okay, as that's going around, I can see I need another one. So we just added another. Let me show the consistency of mine now. Wipe you down the side there. Okay, so it's still fairly thick, okay? Now, to build a dam or anything to go around a cake, if you're holding in caramel or anything, that consistency would be ideal. I'm going to add one more, so that's 3 teaspoons, which was the tablespoon I was going to go in with initially, but I don't want... It's all depending on the climate of where you are. I know that I need the tablespoon, but I don't want you to add a tablespoon if you're in a warmer climate, and then it's just gonna flop. So start with the teaspoon if needed. So I'm now happy with my buttercream. There we go. Beautifully pipeable, and it looks really good. So as I do with any buttercream, I leave that going now for around about 5 minutes, just on low, just to really incorporate. You want to make sure that there's no grittiness in there. The boiling water has helped with that, and also the fact that we whipped it up so much to start with is allowing that to dissolve inside. So I'm going to leave this for 5 minutes, and then I will be back. And as soon as these have cooled, we will, in fact, a lot of people ask me why I leave those on. I don't know. I'll take them off so that you know that there was no need to leave them on. So, and actually they cool a little bit better. So I'll be back when we go to decorate. See you soon. Right, we're all done and ready. The smell of the chocolate and everything is heavenly. So let's build this up. So I have just trimmed off the top, like I said. So first off, we're just gonna a little bit of that on there, just so it sticks and it doesn't go shooting around. Now I've got a little mat underneath to stop me from sliding around everywhere. Now I've also got some simple syrup. Now this isn't, as you can see, this isn't a dry cake, but just, it's nice to have that little bit extra. So simple syrup is literally 1 part water, 1 part sugar. So I used 1/4 cup of water and 1/4 cup of sugar, brought it to the boil, gave it a swirl around, and then it was completely ready, left it to cool, and now that's cool, and obviously the cake is, and it all goes on. Right, so the simple syrup's on, that'll just drain through, and then I'm just going to do a really easy, quick design. Okay, there we have it. This is my gluten and dairy free chocolate fudge cake made with Callebaut cocoa powder and also 811 on the Callebaut recipe. The dark chocolate there, which is made in a factory that contains milk but doesn't have milk in the ingredients. Just want to keep saying that. So, right, I hope you really enjoy this one. Let me know what you think and I'll see you really soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.